What's good, y'all? It's Gas, and this is how you make beats like Amir. I just put up Xenology, and Amir uses Xenology a lot in his beats, more specifically this synth poly key section. So I got this Jonoftf preset, and I'm about to lay out a progression, but something to remember with these Amir progressions is they're not like typical progressions. It's a lot more about the bounce than like the fullness of the chords. So don't be trying to do like all that plug-in beat, like diminished chords and like all this crazy shit. Just focus on the bounce. So I came up with this super weird looking progression. I'm gonna play it out and then break it down for y'all. So you guys hear it super like wonky and weird and like primarily focused on the bounce. You guys hear the chord structure is like not all there. You guys can see like these chords are super strange looking, but it doesn't matter because the bounce is there and it kind of has like that funky sort of sound. So the way I made these chords was a whole lot of a trial and error, but to really break it down, just first put these top notes in, like come up with a sort of bouncy melody in your head. Like I had this without like all this bottom stuff, without the chords. I just had this. I just had that come in my head, and then I went off of that and just put stuff that sounded good under it. But overall, just make sure you're leaving gaps in like this so that there's more room to add other elements, because something that Amir does super well in his beats is he'll like substitute other sounds in to the gaps of previous sounds, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. I want to layer this to make it a little more full sounding, so I think I'm going to try and find an ARP and then just layer it. So I added this ARP preset in albino. I pronounce it albino. Everyone else says albino. I don't care, it's albino, bro. Arpeggiator Sounds 3 lo-fi squeak preset, and I laid out this pattern. Basically just following the top notes. Nothing really special here. I'll let it play out. And I think I forgot to mention it, but BPM is 160 now. So now that we got that laid out, I don't want to add too many more sounds to the melody, but I feel like this needs a lead. So I went back into albino, grabbed this Too Funky preset, and I laid out a super repetitive pattern. And with these Amir beats, if you're adding leads, you want them to be repetitive and again, just have bounce to them. Like you'll notice a common theme. You want the melody to have bounce, because that's really all these Amir beats are about. Drums bounce, melodies bounce, so then the whole thing is just bouncy as shit, and that shit gets you moving. So it sounds like this. Now I feel like we gotta grab something to fill out the high end, like a pad or a lead or something, so I'm gonna go and look. So I just added a new sound from Xenology, this Polestar lead, and it's playing a super simple repetitive pattern, just this repeating G note, and it sounds like this. And I know it doesn't seem super full, but I think this is the final melody. Trust me, the drums are gonna fill it up. Now obviously I got it, so I have to use Amir's kit for this beat, but if y'all don't got Amir's kit, my kit's free, stash kit, link in the description, and you can literally use any sounds for the drums. What matters most is the bounce, not the sounds. So I just finished up the drums. I'm gonna give you all a real quick breakdown. So first things first, we got the clap pattern, and this is literally just a basic clap pattern other than this note right here. I have the same thing, just repeated, the same 2 bars repeated over 4 times. But like I said, this note right here, sort of in a weird spot, and Amir kind of likes to do that in his beats, so do other producers like Paulo. But you guys will hear it doesn't really have that typical bounce. Next, the hi-hats, which are a little unique. You guys can see I didn't start off with the traditional 2-step. These are like the drill hi-hats, like the tss. And then I had some of these rolls here, which I tried to make longer than usual. Like usually I'd have a roll like only this long, but I tried to make them longer than usual. And the reason I did that is just because I thought it sounded better with the whole clap bounce. And other than that, just cut out some notes to give it a little more bounce. And for the most part, I just copied over the first 2 bars to everywhere else. You guys can see I added a little bit of variation, but it's really nothing crazy. And then I grabbed this clap and used it almost as a snare pattern. Just put in a few accent notes and then these rolls, which I thought sounded super like Amir influence. And this is how those 3 sounds sound. And last but not least, the 808s. I used 2 different sounds. The first one being this Rick Owen 808, which I had hidden on the 1 of every 2 bar. And then filling in the extra note, I had this Labs 2 808. And you guys can see there's like little to no variation in the 808 pattern, but I thought it fit well. So now everything together is gonna sound like this. Now let's arrange it. So I just finished up the arrangement. I'm gonna give y'all a real quick breakdown. So before I even get to like how I sorted everything in the playlist and all that, I want to talk about this volume automation, because I feel like this is like really important to how the beat turned out. And essentially all it is I just cut out a little portion of the beat. So it's essentially just a beat cutout, but more frequent. So I had that going on at the end of the first 2 bars, and then at the end of the next 2 bars, I just kept it. And then I just had that repeating all throughout the beat. And then I added a few sound effects. I had this 1-up effect hidden at the beginning of every 2 bar. And then other than that, I had these chants I interchanged. And this is just like the classic plug-in beat chant. Sounds like that. And then after the first 8 bars, I switched it to this O chant. And then I had them playing together for the next 8 bars. And then I just had that repeating. But now let's get to how I sorted everything in the playlist. So I had all the drums coming in at the beginning, and only some of the melody. I had this main portion, like the chords and all. And then I had the little Benny X, like wham. And you guys can see I really did like no cutouts with the drums, because I feel like this was giving the beat all the variation it needed. But then I brought it into this little 16 bar chorus where I brought in the ARP and this little bip 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 bip. And then I had brought the lead in, and really all this is, well, first of all, I want to say that I just repeated these 3 arrangements all throughout the beat. But on top of that, literally just play around with your melodies, like take some sounds out and play it, see what sounds good. And then like literally just do trial and error. Take some sounds out If it doesn't sound good, put them back in. If it sounds good, you're good. And then after the first 24 bars, I literally switched the 808s. So you guys can see over here, before the Rick Owen 808 was hitting on the 1, and then I had the Labs 2 808 hitting after. I literally switched them. So Labs 2 808 on the 1, and then Rick Owen 808 after. And then at one point in the beat, I just had like this little double hit. I don't really know how to describe it, but it sounded good. And then I cut out the drums for 2 bars and had the clap come in a half a bar early, and then I feel like that gave it a really cool delayed drop effect. And then I just cut out the drums for the last, like, I don't even know what segment of time this is, but I cut out the drums for that. And then I just repeated, where is it? I repeated everything from here over. Hold on, let me just show y'all. Literally just copied it over, and then that's my arrangement of the beat. And one thing I want y'all to notice is that this beat sounds kind of bare. Like it doesn't sound super full, and that's because I feel like a lot of the Amir beats have that quality, and it just allows the artist to, like, it gives them so much freedom to just like manipulate their vocals and do whatever. And I feel like that is such a good thing, especially if the beat gets to a good artist. And that's gonna be the beat, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed or learned something, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting so close to 2K, and I would really appreciate any effort to get us there, man. And also make sure y'all leave a comment. Let me know what type of tutorials y'all want to see next, because I'm really down for whatever. I got a Jester tutorial on the way, so stay tuned for that. Also, I think I'm gonna make like a Cash Paint Xavier So Bass type of tutorial. I got a whole lot of shit in the vault, but let me know what y'all want to see in the comments. I'd be more than happy to do that for y'all. And I just dropped a single last week called Paul Pierce, and it's actually on an Amir style beat. Prod by yours truly. It's out on all platforms right now, so if y'all want to go listen to that, I would greatly appreciate it, man. And if y'all send me a screenshot of you listening to any of my music on any platform, I'm gonna put it on my story and follow you back on IG. And no more inconsistent uploads. I know I haven't uploaded in like a month, which is crazy to say, but I'm gonna be flooding y'all. I'm gonna try my best to be consistent from now on. Thank y'all for being patient with me. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. This has been Gas, and I'm out. Peace.